Hey, what's up you guys? Thanks so much and welcome back to my channel. It's great to have you guys. So for today's video, what we're going to be doing is going over some pros and cons for owning little lizard baby dumplings. So I also wanted to mention my channels. If you wanted to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, then here are the links down here. Like, share, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I welcome it and thank you. So let's get to it. So we're going to go over pros first. And one of the first pros is that they are very tame and friendly. If they are not friendly, then you or whoever you got the dragon from is doing something wrong, is or was doing something wrong. Another thing is that they don't make any natural noise, and they're super adorable.
And I mean, look at the face. Oh my goodness, this little baby.
So number 4 is that they can grow very, very close to their owners. You can see little Belly's face right over here. It's really good to have a consistency when you're holding them and being around them, because to them a day feels like more than a day. So you just have to be consistent with it. Next is that they are great with kids and great in family settings. Like if you have never had a reptile or lizard before, these are great starter reptiles. However, you still need to research. It is very important to research. You should research every animal before you get them. They're very easy to hold. They just chill, they don't move super fast or anything like that. Last but not least is they are also trainable. Like you can teach them their names, you can call them, you can potty train them. You can even give them commands where they are, you can tell them to go to their tank or go to bed or something like that. And sometimes I've seen some bearded dragons do that. My bearded dragons are not trained. I hope to be able to do that one day, but it's always good if you're going to train them to start while they're super young. Now let's get into some cons about the little baby boos. Alright, so some cons about bearded dragons is that number 1, if they get sick, you need a specialist. They are exotic animals, so you are going to need an exotic vet that specializes in them in order to really get a good look at them and give you the best treatment for them. Another thing that goes along with that is that they get sick easily if you aren't careful, so again, you're going to need a specialist. Number 3 is that they can be pretty moody sometimes, especially during shed time or bath time. Mostly shed time though is when they get super moody, because I mean they just get irritated. They can't get the shed off their face. They'll just be super grumpy and uncomfortable and unhappy, which is, understandable. Ooh, what you doing, belly bugger? What you doing? Another thing that is a con is that sometimes they can be hard to read. Like if you aren't educated enough, or sometimes even if you are educated enough, they can be hard to read. Sometimes you just don't know, which is why it's also good to have a vet that you know that you go to regularly, that is your vet, so you can go to them and get a checkup or check in with them, give them a call, whatever you need to do in order to care for your beardy properly. Another thing is that if you don't take care of them properly, they can become very, very smelly. Their poos are smelly regardless, depending on what they eat. For example, if you give them a lot of things with water in it, like say they eat a bunch of grapes one day and it's like nothing but grapes, their poo's going to be super watery. If you give them something like asparagus or something like that, their poo's going to smell really bad. So just depending on what they eat is how their poo is going to look, and it's going to smell worse. But if you clean it up quickly, then they're not going to smell. You should be washing them twice a week as well. I mean, not with soap, but with a little toothbrush, giving them baths, so that'll reduce the smell as well. So your lizards should not stink on a regular basis. If they do stink on a regular basis, then you're doing something wrong. And then last but not least, this one I considered a pro and a con, depending on how you are, because it totally depends on the owner. So this one I wouldn't consider a con for myself, but it could be a con for others, and it is that they need a lot of attention. They require a lot of attention, which, is great for me because they're my little babies, but for other people where they're expecting something like a hamster, it won't be as great. So that is all for that. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and have a wonderful, wonderful week.